An angry Dominican Prime Minister lashes out at people playing politics with hurricane aid. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, September 29 from the CMC News Center in Bridgetown. I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit on Friday dismissed as nonsense suggestions that partisan politics is playing a role in who gets the food supplies brought into the island in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. And he has urged those people behind the allegations to stop, saying they were not only hurting the country's image, but the citizens who are trying to rebuild. Addressing the daily press conference on Friday morning, Skerrit did not mince his words when he lashed out at the people whom he accused of playing politics. He insisted that it was not politicians but regional and international agencies on the ground that have been delivering the supplies.
The supplies are coming in, their structures, their limitations in terms of places to store those food supplies in communities, because every single home got damaged in the country. And people who are seeking to undermine the government efforts of bringing relief and bringing aid and bringing restoration of services to our country, we need to stop it. If people have complaints, I have heard of some complaints, we will address those administrative issues. We will put better structures in place to facilitate the more efficient delivery of supplies. But we cannot be going out there on social media and on the radio and elsewhere and making this unfounded, baseless, malicious allegations. Don't think it's going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt me. And this thing must stop, because it's really pissing me off that people out there talking a bunch of nonsense about food supplies and political interference in the delivery of food supplies, which all of these attempts are to undermine our efforts. This damn country has been destroyed. It's been devastated. Schools are destroyed, and people out there talking a bunch of nonsense about food supplies and political interference.
The disturbed Skerrit said that misinformation was distracting from the important task of getting people back on their feet and the country back on track. He insisted that his mandate was to ensure every person in the country had adequate supplies and that Dominica can rebuild in the shortest possible time.
When 100% of our agriculture has gone away and all the farmers were relying on agriculture, the hucksters were relying on agriculture to survive. These are the things that we should be preoccupying ourselves. The private sector entities that have been damaged, the hotels. Think about the hundreds of jobs we've lost as a result of Hurricane Maria. And how our lives have been turned upside down for the worse. And make suggestions as to how we believe that we can help this country rebuild itself. Because the fundamental responsibility of rebuilding this country will rest on our shoulders, the 72,000 of us who reside in this country. Please, please stop it. You're not helping yourself, you're not helping your families, you're not helping this country. Stop it. For the sake of God, stop it.
Skerrit is scheduled to address the nation tonight at 7. It will be aired on Carib Vision after Caribbean Newsline. Meantime, during the press briefing, Skerrit also urged motorists to stay off the roads unless necessary, as he complained that too many sightseers were getting in the way of restoration efforts. He said vehicles were hampering the efforts of cleanup crews and essential services trying to restore power to other parts of the island and continue expanding telecommunications coverage.
The digital reported to me today that they just cannot work. because there are too many vehicles in the city. The heavy equipment cannot get through the city. They cannot get their supplies and material to the points needed. The same for Dominic. The same for Flo. The same for all of the heavy equipment. We cannot get heavy equipment from one community to the other. And even with the clearing of roads, you know, the heavy equipment operators have to stop almost every 10 minutes to allow 1 car to pass, 10 cars to pass, 5 cars to pass. You know, if you do not have anything to do where you go driving to, please just stay in your community and allow the authorities to move with the cleanup, to move with the restoration of telecommunication services, water, and power.
A government MP in the Bahamas is not on board with the way the Dr. Herbert Minnis administration plans to help out Dominica post-Hurricane Maria, and Frederick McAlpin is making no apologies for it. Prime Minister Minnis this week announced details of government's plan to relax immigration rules and accept students and other Dominicans with families in the Bahamas as the Eastern Caribbean nation recovers from the destructive hurricane. But McAlpin, that's the Pine Ridge MP, suggested that government should instead assist Dominica by giving its $200,000, which is twice that Dominica gave to the Bahamas following Hurricane Matthew. His position is that home drums should beat first.
People in my constituency are in the same situation or worse and are yet to be attended to as those in Dominica.
After receiving pushback on his comments on Wednesday, McAlpine explained to the media on Thursday that he has no regrets.
Is there a cost to the Bahamian people? How many people are coming? Are these people immunized? Who's accompanying these people? This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, not the United Nations.
Other government members of Parliament, including Pinewood MP and Ambassador to CARICOM Reuben Ramming and Minister of Foreign Affairs Darren Henfield, were critical of McAlpine's position, noting that the type of assistance offered was simply the right thing to do.
So if you're here to come to school, we know where you're at. We know where you're going. We know what you're doing. The third one is children of parents employed in companies that exist here now. Pinewood sees no way that this interferes with the government agenda to love, care, support, defend, return this country back on its good foot in any which way. I think character counts.
Dominica is a sister CARICOM nation. In this, their hour of need, the least we can do is to reach out however we can to touch them where they hurt the most.
I'm not standing at odds with my own party. Why not give them financial aid and allow some of our Bahamian people to go down there and work? And if you're going to pay anybody, pay our Bahamian people to go down there and work, and they still get the money, and it's still in the Bahamian economy.
And that report from Janae Noel Ferguson of ZNS Network News. The Jamaica government says it has spent more than $50 million to bring home its nationals who requested evacuation assistance from hurricane-ravaged Caribbean islands. Prime Minister Andrew Holness told legislators that 200 Jamaicans were brought home from the affected territories, including the Turks and Caicos Islands and the British Virgin Islands. But he said several others chose to remain to assist with recovery and rebuilding efforts, a gesture he described as commendable and reflective of the Jamaican spirit. Jamaica has already committed financial resources and personnel to assist with recovery and rebuilding efforts, but Holness told Parliament that government is exploring what additional assistance it can offer, particularly to Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. He said the government will explore the possibility of completing a bridge the Jamaica Defense Force had started when Dominica experienced heavy rains previously. In other news, this Friday, a Supreme Court judge has ordered the Bermuda government to pay costs to a couple who won the right for gay people to marry in the island. Pune Judge Charles Etta Simmons ruled that all the legal costs for Bermuda and Winston Godwin and his Canadian partner, Greg DeRoche, should be paid in relation to their claim that they were discriminated against under the Human Rights Act when the Registrar General refused to post their wedding bans. The charity Preserve Marriage, which opposes same-sex and was an intervener on the side of the government in the civil proceedings, will not have to pay costs. Justice Simmons said the group had a genuine interest in the case. They were invited to intervene, and the case was quasi-constitutional issues regarding fundamental rights. Now, despite winning the case, Godwin and DeRoche subsequently got married in Canada. Bermudan lawyer Julia Saltus and her partner Judith Aidu later became the first gay couple to be officially married in the island when they tied the knot in the summer. A referendum last year in which there was less than a 50% turnout resulted in voters overwhelmingly rejecting same-sex marriages and civil unions. Still to come in Caribbean Newsline, Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader moves to have the Prime Minister referred to Parliament's Privileges Committee. We'll tell you why after the break.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the colour of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Despite many witnesses and Israeli forces knowing full well who the attackers were, they made no arrests in the terrorist attack. Instead, they issued a gag order, making it illegal for any media to...
We continue in Trinidad and Tobago, where opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar has moved to have Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley referred to the Privileges Committee after he said he does not knowingly associate himself with crooks except in the Parliament. He made the remarks during a radio interview on September 16 as he defended his relationship with the owner of an oil company at the center of allegations that it sought to defraud the state-owned oil company Petrotrin of millions of dollars. The third session of the 11th Parliament was opened on Friday, and the opposition leader wasted no time referring the PM, who is MP for Diego Martin West, to the committee.
There is wrongdoing. Identifying the wrongdoing and hold people accountable. I don't know that we should be overdoing it, and I'm not afraid of identifying people I associate with, because I do not knowingly associate with crooks except in Parliament.
Persad-Bissessar says the Prime Minister's comments were intentional and reckless. In tabling a motion, she said that the statement by Rowley was uttered in a manner that could bring the House into ridicule.
In his statements, the Honourable Prime Minister and Member for Diego Martin West made damaging, disparaging, negative and contemptuous reflections and imputations upon members of this House, including the Speaker and the parliamentary staff. The Prime Minister and Member for Diego Martin West, inter alia, reflected upon members of this House, including the Speaker and parliamentary staff, asserted that 1. Members of this House, including the Speaker and parliamentary staff, were crooks.
Now, there's been no ruling to date by the Speaker, Bridget Anisette George. Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Timothy Antoine, believes the economies of the region can be transformed with a regional digital currency. He was addressing a BIT seminar in Barbados on Friday. Speaking on the topic, the future is now leveraging blockchain for economic transformation. Antoine said that in order for the countries of the region to achieve at least 5% economic growth and single-digit unemployment, countries must embrace digital currencies such as Bitcoin.
We feel that we can make the case for an investment in technology to ensure that the global system is safe. And after what we went through the global financial crisis, I think we all realize how important that is. So my first key message is really leverage blockchain technology for economic transformation.
Antoine said the 8-member ECCB is engaged in discussions with the Barbados-based financial technology firm BIT for a pilot blockchain currency in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. He said it would explore the development of a digital dollar for the EC dollar using technology that would be subjected to rigorous testing to determine its sustainability for broad-based implementation. Antoine said the issue had the attention of CARICOM, which had established a working group to examine the possibility and report to the leaders at their next summit. Grenada and Russia have signed an agreement waiving visa requirements for nationals of each other's countries. Now, the waiver was signed on the fringes of the just concluded United Nations General Assembly by Grenada's Foreign Minister Elvin Nimrod and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov. Both foreign ministers acknowledged the warmth and strength of bilateral relations and discussed the importance of people-to-people exchanges as a mechanism for deepening ties between Grenada and Russia. Now, during the meeting, Nimrod stressed the importance of human resource development to Grenada and the Caribbean and welcomed continued and further cooperation with Russia, particularly in building capacity in the medical field. This visa waiver will take effect 60 days following notification of the parties completing of internal procedures. And as Russia makes inroads into the Caribbean, the country which was once part of the powerful Soviet bloc is preparing to assist Cuba with major upgrades to its railway systems. Russian Railway will soon sign a bill or $2 billion contract that goes into effect later this year and would assist in modernizing the Caribbean country's rail transport system, which has deteriorated since the collapse of the Soviet Union. The project will upgrade and repair existing railways and see the construction of several new lines. It will also upgrade communications and signaling equipment to match modern operational standards. The first railway system was built in Cuba back in 1837, making it the first country in Latin America to have had a rail system and the 7th country in the world following England, the United States, France, Germany, Belgium, and Russia. The National Cuban Railroad Company, Ferrocarriles de Cuba, operates roughly 2,600 miles of rail throughout the full length of the island. And ahead in Newsline Sport, West Indies end their ODI series against England winless. Stay with us, sport is next.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the colour of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless. From cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751. Or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
The sod has been turned for the new Bell Garden multipurpose facility. It's been a long time in coming for villagers of the Bell Garden district. The current community center was constructed back in the 1960s.
This building serves a very wide community, the Bell Garden, Zion Hill community. This center is where the community gather to celebrate on various occasions.
Cricket tops our weekend sports segment. The West Indies suffered defeat yet again, this time by 9 wickets in the fifth and final ODI against England in Southampton on Friday. Sent in to bat, the West Indies posted a competitive 288 for 6 following a late flourish from debutant Sunil Ambrose and tail-ender Ashley Nurse and Shea Hope's top score of 75. Kyle Hope chipped in with 33 and veteran Marlon Samuels got 32, while Nurse and Hope produced a cameo unbeaten 31 and 38 runs respectively. Pacer Liam Plunkett was the best bowler with 2 for 54. Here are the highlights.
Oh, up and over, up and over. That has been nailed for 6. Oh, that's in the slot. That's in the slot. That is 6 more. This is carnage now from the hands of Chris Gale. Few steps all over the shot. That's gone straight up in the air. Liam Plunkett underneath it. What a catch! Diving full length. That wasn't easy by any stretch.
Well, 2 things here. Great catch from Liam Plunkett and a first ODI wicket for Tom Curran.
Oh, what a catch! Fantastic again from Liam Plunkett. He took a blinder to get rid of Chris Gale. Kyle Hope is the man to go now. A fantastic cork bowl.
Excellent. Good change of bowling, good change of ends for Moeen Ali. A bit of drift in the air.
Oh, mid-off's in play here. If he can get round, Root, he can get round. Very good catch. England's outfielding has been excellent.
The face maybe a little bit on it, but anyway, Joe Root, I think he just about hangs on there.
Whoa. Oh, he'll have to land somewhere in the stands. It's going to be caught. Yes. Didn't get enough of it. West Indies lose their 5th wicket. Hold him. Full toss.
Full and straight.
And again, it's gone a long way up, but has it gone far enough? 6-1 runs off the last 5 overs to push the West Indies up to 288 for 6.
In reply, opening batsman Johnny Bairstow scored his 2nd century in the series to guide the home side across the total quite easily. Bairstow scored 141 from 114 balls, while Jason Roy finished with 95 from 70.
Shot hit hard. Full-time pull. Well, it's not working so far. The change, Cummins has just been short and wide on occasion.
We're too used to it. Lovely shot from Bairstow down the ground. .50 for Jason Roy. Come off 43 balls with 7 falls.
It's a big hit. Needs a run for that.
Oh, that's close, and that's given. 9-6, and the plum in front.
And he knows it.
Finds the gap. It's getting a little bit greasy, the outfield. Second 100 of the series. And he's been in complete control, really, from start to finish. That is a very, very good knock.
It's hit away for 4.
It's straight back over the head. Will it go for 6? It does. What a way to win the game, and what a way to finish the international summer for England.
England securing the series 4-0. Now, switching sports, a late application for clearance could see the October 7th international friendly between Jamaica's Reggae Boys and Saudi Arabia scrapped. Newly elected Jamaica Football Federation President Michael Ricketts confirmed the fixture in Riyadh was in danger because of the organizers' failure to secure permission for the game, and they were now anxiously waiting on approval. Ricketts told the Jamaica Gleaner the promoter was supposed to get permission through the Saudi Arabian Football Federation from FIFA. He said the application was submitted and they're still trying to have it sorted out. The Reggae Boys are the most sought after Caribbean side. Jamaica is currently the second highest ranked regional nation at 61st in the FIFA rankings. The Reggae Boys were good enough to make the final of the last 2 CONCACAF Gold Cups, even though they lost on both occasions to Mexico and the United States, respectively. Over in Trinidad and Tobago now, head coach of the senior men's football squad, Dennis Lawrence, says the focus in the upcoming matches in the World Cup qualifier will be on gearing up his men for the next World Cup scheduled for 2022. TNT will be playing for pride against Mexico and the United States in the remainder of the qualifiers, and Lawrence says those matches will be a test for new players.
Warriors are out of the running for qualifying for the World Cup in Russia in 2018, and Lawrence said his squad was picked with that in mind.
In terms of the team selection, obviously, we all understood now that we're not in a position to qualify for Russia anymore. That doesn't mean that the campaign is over. We've got 2 very, very important games coming up, which is the Mexico game and the USA game. We selected the squad based on the fact that looking forward to the future. I think if you look at the squad, there's 10 players in there that is under the age of 24 and under. So the idea now is to try and get these players to understand what international football is all about.
Aubrey, David and Jameer Boatswain have been left out for disciplinary reasons, but Lawrence says they are still part of the plans for the future of local football.
Jamil and Aubrey are 2 of the more disciplined players in the squad. Obviously, the 2 players made a huge error in judgment. When you make judgments like that and you make errors like that, there has to be consequences. So they are not involved in this squad. The decision is made that they will be suspended for the 2 games, and then we move forward from there. But as I said before, it's 2 players that are 2 very disciplined players, 2 players that are very much in plans for what we need to do for the future.
That's the sport. We'll be right back.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Again, the major developments of this day. The angry Dominican Prime Minister dismisses as nonsense suggestions that partisan politics is playing a role in who gets food supplies in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. And in sport, West Indies end their 5-match ODI series against England without a win. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports round the clock, log on to CardenNews.com. We'll be back here again on Monday. But from all of us at CMC News. You can stay tuned to Carib Vision as we bring you the live address by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Good night.